Why you are not growing on Instagram part 2. What's going on, guys? It's Thor here, back with a new video, and in this video we're going to look at why you are not growing on Instagram, where your growth is completely stopped on your Instagram account. This is part 2 though, so if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, go watch part 1 before you continue on with this one. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thor, and during my 2 years on Instagram, I've built up a network of over 2 million followers. Now, currently I run an Instagram agency where my focus is helping businesses and individuals grow their Instagram account. Now, if you're someone who needs help growing and want to take things to the next level and accelerate your growth to the top, then I'll leave my email down below so you can reach out to me and we can get in touch. Now, that being said, let's jump into the video and look at why you are not growing. Now, since we covered 4 reasons in the first video, I'm going to continue on to those. So reason number 5 that you are not growing is because you're not posting often enough. Now, this may sound simple, but a lot of the time the reason you're not growing is because you're not getting the exposure you need to grow. Now, the formula for increased exposure is very simple. The more you post, the more exposure you're going to get, because you're increasing your chances of being seen by people who don't follow you from before. Now, another way to increase your exposure in forms of posting is using the Instagram stories as well, or going live on the story. Now, if you're just posting once every single day, that is not enough to grow rapidly and get the growth that you desire. Ideally, you should be posting 3 times to 5 times a day. The more you can post, the better. Now, some of you might think that, well, if I post way too often, people are going to unfollow. But that is not the case, because people don't spend all their day on Instagram. People just spend like an hour a day on Instagram, and during that time they're only going to see maybe one of your posts if you post 5 times a day. So increase your posting frequency. That is the #1 thing you have to work on. Now, reason number 6 that you are not growing on Instagram account is because you are shadow banned. Your Instagram account is shadow banned. Now, what this means is basically that when you do a post, Instagram is limiting your reach. They're not allowing you to get ranked in hashtags. They're not really allowing you to reach the explore page as easily, and they're limiting the amount of followers of yours that can see your posts. So they're basically stopping your followers from seeing your posts. Only like 5% of your followers will see your post overall, which is terrible. Now, the reason this is bad is because when few of your followers can see your post, you will get very little engagement on that post, which is going to make it really hard to get ranked on the explore page and in hashtags. Now, if you have done quite a bit of things that Instagram didn't like, if you've done like massively follow and follow, just following thousands of people and then unfollowing them with bots, or for example like apps on your phone, using apps on your phone to basically grow on Instagram and automate Instagram stuff, that is not really a good thing, because apps usually don't have very safe proxies when running things on your Instagram account, so rather use softwares. But anyways, as I was saying, if you've been using things like this, follow and follow, abusing hashtags, all that type of stuff, abusing the DMs, this is maybe the reason you are shadow banned. Now, it's very hard to get out of a shadow ban. You basically have to prove to Instagram that your account is worthy. So you have to stop using all the things that you've been doing that got you shadow banned. You have to post very often. Like, I've personally experienced that power likes have helped me get out of the shadow ban, because it's shown Instagram that my posts are valuable and valid, because when you power like a post, Instagram sees that post as an authority, and getting more of my posts seen by Instagram as an authority has helped me get out of a shadow ban before. So I know that this has helped me, and it might be able to help people like you as well. Now, it's not guaranteed that this is going to work, but it has worked for me, which is why I'm saying this. Now, the 7th reason you're not growing on Instagram account is because you're making a terrible first impression. Now, there is 3 things that really stands for the first impression that you're making when people see your account. It's first of all the profile picture, it's the bio, and it's the content. So the profile picture that you have needs to be professional, it needs to look nice, it basically can't look ugly. So a profile picture of your face, if you're a personal brand, that's good, but it has to be quality, it has to look nice, not just a ugly photo of your face. Like, that's not going to be a good first impression. And the profile picture also needs to be aligned with your content. You need to really have the same flow of content style on the profile picture and the content you're posting. So if you're posting travel content, also have like a travel-ish vibe in in the profile picture. That is really important. Now, if you're, for example, a business, you can have your business logo as the Instagram logo as well, but make sure that it fits the circled frame and it looks neat overall. Now, when it comes to the bio, you want to have it really neat looking. I see way too many people have ugly bios with spam stuff in it. Now, you want to have a very neat looking bio with emojis and ideally 3 bullet points that basically display what your profile is about. So 3 bullet points, that is lines going across the screen. I'll show a picture on the screen right now of an example of this, where you basically talk about what the profile is all about. Now, I also would highly recommend not to have a link in the bio unless you're over 10,000 or 5,000 followers, because it looks kind of ugly in the start, especially if it's a bit.ly link. You do not want to have bit.ly links in the bio or Google shortening links. That also looks kind of ugly and spammy. Now, when it comes to the content obviously has to look nice. I've talked about this before. You really want to have your content flow look nice, like the overall feed of your page. When you scroll down on your page, all the content pieces needs to look neat together. It needs to have the same flow and the same image style for the content, for the page to overall look very nice. So really work on this, really work on your first impression, because it's really crucial when people see your page, determining if they're going to follow you or not. Finally, reason number 8 you're not growing on Instagram is because your captions on your images suck. When growing on Instagram, it's really important actually to have good captions. Now, the reason why is because the caption is going to determine a lot how many likes and comments, especially comments, you get on your image. If you have a very interactive caption and a caption that kind of sparks emotion in your followers, makes them want to comment, you're going to have much more comments on your image, which is going to push this image to more people, and basically the chance of the image going viral is much higher. So write captions with questions, or where you ask them to rate the image 1 to 10, because that way people will have a reason to interact with the image. They will have a reason to comment. Don't just write nice picture at the beach. Like, there's nothing people can comment on that image that is related to the caption. So ask a question in the caption, and it will help you increase your engagement, and it will help you a lot to rank better and reach more people. Basically, that's basically how it works. So yeah, that is basically all the reasons you're not growing on Instagram, or maybe the reason you're losing followers on Instagram. Now, if you found value from this video, smash that like button. Now, that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.